let's jump into a couple of the songs that you'll sing when you do get back, and it just like blows my mind. I listen to you guys all the time anyway. And again, I told you about my dad and losing my dad, and let's just start with the walk. What was your motivation behind writing that song, and what is the reaction when you see people consume it for the first time?
Well, the motivation, my grandfather, and you know, not having a dad, my grandfather became my father figure, and no one was more proud than when we started having hit records. I mean, he had to have his own tour jacket. He had,
That's
and,
awesome.
you know, any place that we went, he knew he could go, and his health, deteriorated, and I was losing it. And that song came out of that experience. But not only along with that was I was just getting ready to have my first child. So it was really probably the first song that I had written that was just truly that I had experienced all of it, every verse of that. And so I had really made up my mind that song was never going to be a single, because now you have to understand it, in the 80s we were on a bit of a roller coaster, because we'd have a hit song and then radio still wanted to push back on us because we still would push the envelope a little too much. So we kind of did this a little bit, but the songs that we did have were huge. The Race Is On, Step That Step. Yeah. These songs were, it was something kind of undeniable. But then we would release something else, and radio wouldn't play it. So when we got to The Walk, it was the first time that I think that I had written something that was so personal to me that I wasn't. And I told my brother, and I told TK Kimbrell, who was also managing us, a really close friend. I said, guys, I'm going to put this on. When I played it for him, I said, I'm not even going to put it on an album. I just wanted you guys to hear it. And they just looked at each other and said, man, you got to put that on an album. And I said, you got to let people hear it. I said, I will put it on the album, but it will never be a single. So, and the reason was, I was probably so upset with radio at the time that I wasn't going to give them a chance to tell me my song wasn't good. Because I would have gone all redneck up on somebody.
Yeah, I love that. I love that perspective.
So we record the song and we put it on the album. And so it was on, this is funny. The song was on the Buick album.
Yep.
So we're recording the next album, and we didn't release it. So my brother and TK come in and say, man, we're getting such a huge response on The Walk. You got to think about it. I said, well, the album's done. We're doing a new album. They said, let's put this one on that, also on the next album. And I said, well, can we do that? And they said, well, you can do anything you want. So we did that. But they talked me into letting it be a single. And I said, okay. And the response, we went up to LA, we did the video. We spent a lot of our own money, because I was just bound and determined that I was not going to let this song, if we were going to do it, then it was going to have to be Desert Storm. We were going to have to come in and we were going to have to just blitz. And so we spent, I think we spent probably, in all honesty, $400,000 or $500,000.
Wow.
We made We spent that much money of our own money just making sure, and it was a big payoff. It was, no one had ever seen us in that, you know, because we were the fun rock guys, and so no one had ever seen that side of us. So it was had a huge impact, and became one of our biggest songs, and still is. Now, the second part of your question, from stage, man, there are times that I'm getting choked up about it, because I can see this in my mind. The dads that will stand up with their sons
Yeah, man.
at the show. Now I'm up there, and, and we're trying to play this song, you know, and they'll just stand up, and they got their arm around their dad, and they brought him to the show, and they said, "This is the reason. You're the only band that me and my dad likes together. Yeah. And this is because of this." And you go, man, I get it, because I have a son now, you know, and my son's 25 now. And I watched all those phases of the song, you know, go through. So sometimes when I sing it and I think about him and my daughter, I'm like, you know, so it has and continues to be a very impactful and emotional song for me. But, you know, one of the coolest things I saw was 4 generations. I saw a great granddad, a granddad, a dad, and he was holding his infant son.
Wow.
And when you see that, you just thank God that I got to be a part of that song. I don't even think of it as I wrote it, as much as I got to have a front row seat to this song.
Beautiful, man. You know, one reason I love it so much is because, and I listen to it at minimum every other day. And I consider this to be somewhat odd, but I know I'm not alone, so it's not that odd. I listen to it because it makes me sad viscerally, and that thereby makes me feel closer to my dad.
Yeah.
Like he's with me right then, even though he's not. And that to me is the beauty of the song, and that's why I listen to it so often.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for that song. It's just beautiful. And y'all, if you don't know it, you better go find it right now.